Today I have a confession. I bought a car I used to trash on because of a damn video game. This is the story of why I decided to buy a 2025 BRZ, a car I had no respect for. Okay, let's start from the beginning. About 3 years ago, I was playing one of the Forza racing games when I decided I wanted to take my gaming to the next level by moving to a more serious simulation platform. This included new hardware, chair, pedals, force feedback, wheel, and VR. After looking at the companies that made sim software in the market, I played a few and decided that iRacing was a platform for me. It was a bit pricier, but with the discounted subscriptions during the holiday, it made for a better value proposition. It was also a moderated platform, which meant that users who crashed into other people and did other negligent activities could be protested and punished if the stewards ruled against them. And while I started with open wheel racing on the service, I gravitated towards spending more time with the sports cars, including the Ferrari 296, Corvette C8, as well as the Porsche 911 GT3R. These cars were fun, but a little too intense for after-work sessions, and the intensity harshed my mellow. I mean like 150 plus heartbeat per minute sitting in a chair during a race kind of shit. What I really wanted was a fun to race, great handling car that wasn't too insane. I had heard some buzz on the Toyota GR86 on Reddit, and once I tried it, I was hooked. It was a small, lightweight coupe that handled well, wasn't too fast, and looked cool. I won my first race on a GR86 at Virginia International Raceway on iRacing. My wife is so impressed that I won a fake race in a fake car racing with a bunch of other people living in a fantasy land. Shortly after I started racing the GR86, I started watching reviews on the real car, and I realized that at its heart, the Toyota GR86 was a Subaru. And while there are influences from Toyota, I think the manual transmission and styling to name a few, the GR86 is built in a Subaru factory with a boxer engine, and this is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And while the Toyota variant is the GR86, the Subaru model is called the BRZ. The two cars are almost identical except for some minor suspension and aesthetic differences. Oh yeah, they both also have a premium trim. For Subaru, the premium is the lowest trim, and for the Toyota, the highest standard trim. Not confusing at all. And the Subaru piece is really important because over the last 20 years, I've owned 4 Subarus, a 1980 GL, a 1987 GL10, a 2006 WRX, and a 2015 Outback. And I've learned how to work on them, and I also understand that if you're careful with your mods and you keep oil in them, they can run for a long, long time. So now that I've admitted I'm a Subaru fanboy, I really didn't know much about these cars. Most of the ones I see around town were mostly the previous generation. Many had loud exhausts, often unrepaired damage was present, and most were driven by people much younger than myself. Sometimes I also noticed a few that had an abnormal amount of stuffed animals in the car. I even saw a vape being puffed out of an open window on the highway. I started poking around on the GR86 Reddit and ran across some real gems. The standard questions are things like, is 10% a good interest rate on a car loan? And is $39,000 out the door a good deal? There was also folks showing audio clips with the 2.4 Boxer asking if the loud engine was broken. Before I move on, I want to answer these questions and put this to rest. 10% is a shitty interest rate. I don't know if $39,000 is too much for a GR86 out the door, since no one seems to understand different states have different fees, taxes that are rarely detailed in the posts. And on the sound issue, all Subarus sound like shit, but it is most likely not going to explode in the near future, although you may lose a head gasket. So where was I? I love the car in iRacing. It is a Subaru, but how does it drive in real life? I was in Palm Springs, California last October and rented an automatic GR86 on Turo. 2 days in a row, I took the car on the mountain loop to Idlewild and back, and even though it was an automatic, it was fantastic. So fantastic that when the 2025s were available to order, I placed an order on a limited BRZ in white. It was ordered in January and I picked it up in May. So what's my review on the car? Does it suck? Subscribe and you find out in the next video, but spoiler, I wouldn't say that it sucks. Thanks for watching, everybody.